Hello and welcome to this edition of The Nation Wants to Know. We have resumed The Nation Wants to Know, and I promised last week when we interviewed the ISRO chief that we would make these regular conversations. And the person I'm looking forward to speaking to today, let me welcome her right on top, actor, producer, director Kangna Ranawat. She speaks her mind. She's unafraid of the powerhouses in the industry because she's the new powerhouse in the industry on her own. And the best part is, in an industry where nobody speaks straight and most people speak a strange and diplomatic language, she's ready to take them on all. And I had called Kangna after the Sushant Singh Rajput most unfortunate demise that was about more than a month back. And she had put out a video in which she was livid. And it appeared from that video that she was going to open up a can of worms for the industry. And I messaged you, Kangna. At that time, I asked Kangna that why don't you speak to me in detail about it? And she said that she had been too affected, and you know, she was not in a frame of mind to give a longer interview. I'm glad that you are speaking now, Kangna. So first of all, thank you. Let's go straight to the point. Let's cut the chase.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. And for me, like, I do a lot of interviews talking about myself, about my work, but you know, when you talk about somebody else and such a huge unfortunate event that has taken place, which whole country is very sensitive about, it puts me in a place that you know, I'm very vulnerable and emotional right now, because it's not about me. I'm not talking about me, you know, I'm talking about somebody else who I identify with. So honestly, when you asked me about I have no way of investigating this matter, right? Because I cannot. I'm not the official or CBI or police. You know, I can only gather my common sense from whatever I see. I'm going to make sure that whatever I say and whatever I put out there is not my opinion. It's not something that I think about. It is for everyone in the public domain, for everyone to see. But it seems that some people very conveniently ignoring to see this. And I thought, honestly, when you first asked me, I thought, what is there to, you know, to say anymore? Because it's out in the open, and of course, the people who are culprits, and they will be punished in some way. I call it a murder because I do feel abetment of suicide. According to Section 57, it is as much of a criminal offense as physically killing one person, you know. So for me, I've been from day one been calling it murder, and I still call it.
Let's start by, you know, you said that Sushant was made an outcast. My first question to you is, Kangna, who made him an outcast? You know, Sushant, he was an outstanding mind. He made it big in the TV industry and in Bollywood. Those who you know, disagree with you say that if he was an outcast, how would he have made it big? You spoke about how he was systematically sidelined, systematically insulted in the industry. Who are you referring to, Kangna?
I am referring to people that Sushant was referring to. First of all, if you see his few Instagram interactions with few people just before you know, his murder happened, he is clearly telling his audiences during his last release called Son Chidiya, he's begging them to see his film. And he's saying, these people, I'm not from Bollywood, and they will throw me out. They will make sure that I don't work in this industry. Please watch my films. Please support me. Otherwise, I will be destroyed. I will be ruined. Now, I want to know that why cops don't see this obvious framing when somebody is himself expressing such a threat to him. So, well, we all know that the kind of situation he was in. Yes, of course, he was bright in every field. He was physics Olympiad winner. And if had he taken the Stanford scholarship, he would have been a huge scientist today. Who knows? But in film industry, he has been absolutely bright. But they are threatened by only bright people. They are not threatened by mediocrity. So how systematically his career was killed. They are very the Mumbai police is very conveniently calling up people like, say, Sanjay Bhansali, or summoning me, or taking statements of Shekhar Kapoor. But why aren't they calling the real powerful people? Who he now in his Riya Chakravarti, who was his current girlfriend at the time when he was killed. she has said in her statement that he asked her not to work with Yash Raj films. She has said that. And I want to know that when he's clearly had so much angst against Yash Raj films, why Aditya Chopra, who is the heir of Yash Chopra and who is the one who handles that, and whatever happened and conspired between these two, everybody in the industry knows. And trust me, it was a big showdown. So, cutting the long story
No.
short,
Which showdown are you talking about? I'm not aware of it. And I want you to elaborate on one point. You said the Mumbai police is not calling the real culprits.
yes.
You also spoke about a real showdown. I don't want you to go around in circles. I want you to tell me about what you know.
So, well, it's a long story, but I'm going to cut it short. So, Aditya Chopra had a talent agency. So, nepotism no more is about loving your own and promoting your own. It is about, Sushant in 2016 said that nepotism is not just about loving your own. It is about also killing the right talent, not letting them come up. When he was asked, what is your experience of nepotism? He supported me. In fact, he was the very few who supported me. Rest, all these movie mafia, they bought these needy, struggling outsiders, and they were talking against me that me and Sushant are probably only ones who have problem with these loving movie mafia who are very kind and generous to them. But we seem to have a problem with them. But he was the one who supported me. And he particularly said that nepotism kills the right talent, they don't let them come up. So Aditya Chopra's talent agency hired two actors, two newcomers, Ranveer Singh and Sushant Singh. So they had contracts with them. Now, Sanjay Bhansali has said in his statement to cops that I was chasing Sushant Singh for 5 years. Now you understand, when a boy comes from Bihar and he bags Sanjay Bhansali film on his own talent, Yash Raj never launched him. He got his first break on his own, but they kind of hired him to look after his career, and their contracts are evil. Like you can't do anything without consulting them and their permission. So Sanjay Bhansali wanted him for Ram Leela, and Aditya Chopra did not allow him to do that film. Instead, he made Ranveer Singh do that film. Sanjay Bhansali, in his statement, which is out in public, he said, for 5 years I chased him. Bhansali never in his life has chased any actor. He wanted him for Bajirao Mastani. Again, Aditya Chopra did not let him do that film. Reasons best known to him. He again sent Ranveer Singh. Why? Because Sushant doesn't know how to do Chaplusi. Is this why they sabotage his career?
No. What? Okay. So sorry to interrupt. What proof would you have that Aditya Chopra has stopped Sushant from getting the opportunities and gave it to Ranveer Singh? What proof is there to back this up?
Sanjay Leela Bhansali has said this in his statement to police, which is out in public domain, which police inspectors have said that this is what he said, that 5 years I was chasing him, but he was not allowed by the people who were handling his work. And at the time, Yash Raj film was handling his work. And then they promised him a big director's film, which Shekhar Kapoor was supposed to do. But they canned that project. They did not do that film with him. He said, I don't want to be with you. I want to go ahead and do my film individually, and I don't want you to take care of my work. Then they had a big showdown, and Aditya Chopra told him that we will never work with you, and kind of whatever films we do, and nobody will work with you. Now, this same experience, when I said no to Sultan, Aditya Chopra told me that we will never work with you. But see, look, I am today. Why I know this racket, because I.
When was this? When did? Tell me about Sultan. I mean, I'm sorry, but these are episodes I don't know. Many people who follow your career, otherwise movie buffs, would want to know about it. Tell me about what was said to you, in what context?
I was offered a film called Sultan with Salman Khan. The director came to my house. He narrated me the film. And I had just given a big blockbuster, and I was like, I don't want to work with Khans. I want to just do my film. So Aditya Chopra, I had a meeting with him. I just wanted to be a little bit more apologetic. And he was fine at the time. And he did not seem at all bitter or anything. But then this news came out that I said no to Sultan. And that's the time he messaged me. He's like, how dare you? You say no to me, and then you go to press and you say no to. I said no to Fairness Scream. I said no to Khans. I am a girl from a village. It's an achievement for me. Why should I hide it? He's like, you know what? you are finished.
Who said
We
that
will
to you?
never
Aditya
work with-
Chopra said that to you?
Yes. Raj Kapoor and Aditya Chopra, he was very much okay to go ahead on his own and do his work. After a few years struggle, he gave a huge hit called Dhoni. Now Aditya doesn't work with him, but his best friend, his childhood friend Karan Johar comes into the picture very strategically. He hires him. And then he shoots for this film for 3 years, and then he declares to the world that such a flop star, I can't sell the film to exhibitors. Someone who's belonging to this film industry for the last 14, 15 years, and I have started my small studio. I have also directed a film, delivered a film, released a film. I want to know how, in which circumstances, after a blockbuster delivery of a Dhoni, Karan Johar doesn't have a buyer for a film called Drive? How does that work? Let's have a conversation with exhibitors and producers. Let's have it on your show. I want to know the business mathematics and the financial mathematics of it. How? Because today, even I can release a film in 1,000 prints whenever Corona is not there. Even somebody like me who's an upcoming studio, I have the Karan Johar does not have the ability to release suppose it's a big disaster, but to save everybody's name and careers and
But the film was not a disaster. I'm so sorry to intervene. Dhoni was not a disaster film. It was a great film, wasn't it? Wasn't it successful?
Dhoni was a big hit. It came in theaters, but a film called Drive did not come in theaters, which Karan Johar made with Sushant. He dumped it. He said, I can't sell this film with this flop star. This was created this whole business racket that he's created, which declared his films as hit. And big films like even Manikarnika and Chichore and Dhoni are declared semi-hits. So his whole circle started to print and spread these rumors that Sushant is finished. And now this is on public domain. You can see that this film Drive was not released, and only media reports that Sushant is a flop actor, so Karan Johar is not finding a buyer for his film. And then he was probably okay with that as well. Now last year he has given, do you know, Chichore is a bigger hit than Gully Boy. How many of us know that? It made more money than Gully Boy. And investment and return proportion, Gully Boy is just a break-even film. How many of us know that? We don't know it. And Chichore, yes, Ranveer Singh's character in Gully Boy was the character sketch, and of course he deserved his award. But Chichore, for his best director, for best film, there was absolutely no acknowledgement. You are celebrating a mediocre film, and somebody like, Lakshmi Bai's role, I have done somebody like Alia Bhatt, such a mediocre actor for 10 minutes role, flaunting a Best Actor trophy. Zoya Akhtar, for a mediocre film, flaunting Best Director. Well, people like Nitesh and, they absolutely have no acknowledgement. So last year, I feel he was systematically brought to a point where he did not see.
Explain the word systematically. What do you mean systematically?
Systematically, when there is a big production house like Yash Raj Films, and when they have joined hands with another like Dharma Production, because they are childhood friends, and they systematically work with each other, in sync with each other, who to promote, who to demote, who to destroy. I'm not saying that they were very much clear from the beginning that, oh, this guy has to be killed. No, but doomed, yes. People like Mahesh Bhatt. Now Riya Chaturvedi, Chakravorty, in her interview, she has her statement to police. She said that Mahesh Bhatt used to come and counsel him. His first assistant has written a big letter about how he used to counsel him. So when he was completely broken and mentally fragile, Mahesh Bhatt, who is Mahesh Bhatt in Sushant Singh Rajput's life? Why not call his own father or his mama, chacha, or say his directors? He has no business in his life. He's going there and he's telling him, these are his first AD's words, that you are not drifting, you are drowning. Like Praveen Babi, you will drown. So there is this whole, like Abhishek Kapoor. Now his interviews also in public domain. He said that Sushant Singh Rajput was his death was a complete dismantling of a fragile mind. He too said that. So I do I do see it here. It's very evident that when Aditya Chopra decided to boycott him, Karan Johar came into the picture mysteriously and decided to declare him the biggest flop ever. And then his people like Rajiv Masand, who called him a rapist, who called him a drug addict, aren't they accountable for their claims today? Right now, they should say who was giving them this kind of information.
Just a minute. From listening to you, Kangana, I have a feeling that what you're saying is that there was a systematic attempt to break Sushant. A systematic attempt to break Sushant. And I remember to mock him, to demean him, to isolate him, which some people can say it's social behavior. But what you're saying that no, this was not happening, this was not each thing in isolation. You are saying, Kangana, that all of them in their different ways made Sushant a target. Do you think Karan Johar made Sushant a target? Because, you know, there was this interview in which he was doing this interview with someone, and he said that, I don't understand these long motivational quotes some people put out whenever they post a picture. Now, to be very straightforward with you, Shah Rukh Khan puts out motivational quotes, and the same group goes wah wah. But if Sushant puts motivational quotes, he was mocked, and there was also a section of the media mocking him for doing that. And Karan Johar saying that I don't understand what he does. You are talking about Mukesh Bhatt. I think he said that Sushant is turning out to be Parveen Babi. You know, trying to say he was a very quote unquote, you know, very patronizing, Kangana. He's a very disturbed boy. The word that was used by Mukesh Bhatt was, he was not there while talking to me. Almost trying to say that Sushant was mentally in a strange place. And then they underline these things, saying there was something amiss about him, something wrong. And then, of course, I'm going to be very direct. There was the Coffee with Karan episode in which Alia Bhatt ridiculed Sushant by saying Sushant Singh who? Are you saying all of this was planned, plotted? Because all of them are trying to say now, no, hey, listen, we were just having fun. We were just mocking a little bit. We were not part of a conspiracy. You disagree with that?
You tell me one thing. This may look very abstract, but from my experience, I'm going to tell you my experience with them and how in sync and how planned they are. So when I rose to top position in 2016, everybody knows that I gave the biggest blockbuster any girl has ever given, you know, after Tanu Waid's Manu return. Suddenly, I signed 19 brands. I think that was the maximum for any girl ever had, you know, in 2016. Now, suddenly, my ex from 2013, where we've broken up in 2013, he comes and he does a stupid case on me. Now, whole nation thinks, wow, that's a bit weird. It's not weird. It is not weird. It is very strategic. So what happens is that all these multinational companies or national companies, they have a clause. Any artist or any brand ambassador, if they have a case running on them, they will have to drop them. So my revenue of whatever I was getting of crores, my investments were according to all the brands dropped me. Of course, that case didn't go anywhere, but all the brands dropped me. And then what happened? I had made some investment thinking of considering those contracts. I was in big trouble. So nothing happens for no reason. Everything is very much well planned. And then they started to claim, you know, she's a man-eater, she sends her nude pictures, she is mixing her blood, she's a witch, she's a Diane rolled into one. So just like 2 days ago, when I was just a beautiful girl being persuaded by many men, suddenly I see that maybe marriage is not an option for my life. So, you know, and career, Karan Johar goes to London School of Economics. Openly, that is in public domain, please see, openly he declared that Kangna should leave the film industry. And you know what happens? There are applauds there. There is hooting there, and people clap. when I was fighting for nepotism. So a human being is made of three things, na? My emotional life, my social life, my career life. What else is there to a human being? Everything you choked, everything you killed. I can't get married. I don't have no financial future. You are telling in London School of Economics and people are hooting. Don't you think the thought of suicide would cross my mind? He said that it's okay. But there were students in London School of Economics studying there. They clapped. There was roaring applaud when he said she should leave this industry. I asked her to get out. She should get out right away. These are his words. I'm quoting him. So
what did you think when that happened? What was your resolve when it happened? When that happened, when you heard about it, what was your resolve? What was your impact?
Well, my resolve was what Sushant's resolve was, that, well, Karan Johar doesn't like me, it's okay. But what about people? What about people? So when Alia is saying he should be killed, he must be thinking nobody said anything. People saw that episode and it had huge TRPs. What is he supposed to do?
Alia said Sushant Singh Rajput who? That was the Coffee with Karan episode, right? She was asked to rate 3 celebrities, Ranveer, Sushant and Varun Dhawan. And she said Sushant Singh Rajput who? That's what she said.
She also said in one of her interviews, in the same Coffee with Karan, this whole episode that he very proudly has it, she also said that she was given an option between 2-3 people. And please, you see that somebody like me who's got 3 national awards and Padma Shri only for acting, I will never make it to his good actresses list. The same way Sushant never made it to a list. Only time he made it to a list when one person had to be killed. If he puts Ranveer Singh or Ranbir Kapoor or Varun, so he can't kill any of them because all are his chamchas. He can't kill chamchas, na? So he will put Sushant Rajput because he doesn't know chamchagiri. How will he now kill? So these girls will kill Sushant Singh Rajput because he doesn't subscribe to chamchagiri. So don't you think this is, if I did not have the spiritual guidance that I got from my, whether it's Swami Vivekananda or Sadhguru, I was obviously considering suicide. What else? You people say, why did he kill himself? Why he doesn't go to...
No, what do you mean you were considering suicide? I'm sorry.
What do you think? I told you my situation. I had invested in a lot of things thinking of a certain revenue, the contracts that I had. 18 brands dropped me within 2 months of the case filing on me. And then, okay, fine. Then they made me, turn me into a Dian, a nymphomaniac, a man-eater. Okay, fine. That option of getting married or maybe having a family is gone for me. Now he's going on an international platform to London School, declaring that we will not let the be in the industry. He declared it there. He said she should leave right away. And what option do you think a girl like me would have? Where is my options? Where are my? You tell me, where are my options?
No, Kangna, come again. You said at one point of time about suicide? I mean, are you saying at some point of time you had similar thoughts? Were you driven to that?
Maybe not about killing myself, but definitely just shaving my head off and disappearing. Just disappearing. Don't you think I would? Anyway, because if I go to my village, fine, I can do kheti there, but you have now turned me into a nymphomaniac. My relatives are not letting their children meet me. You have turned Sushant into a rapist. How will you go back to Bihar? Because chote gaon mein, chote shehron mein paisa is not a big thing. Izzat is a big thing. Now your movie mafia's media has turned me into a Dian, turned him into a rapist.
What do you mean by the movie mafia media? 1 minute. What do you mean by the movie mafia media?
Movie mafia media is the media that they have bought completely. There is a system. The one who will decide box office, like that. The person who will decide every film's box office, when he gets the approval, because their check will go every month, he will get approval. For Karan Johar will decide my film's box office. What is my producer will not have the right. He will decide. He will give. He is shameless. He can collect awards for Kalank. Chichore did not get award. Kalank got awards. They have become Besharam. They have come out in the open like Besharam. Like Alia Bhatt will flaunt best actor. You have seen Manikarnika. When Manikarnika comes, Alia Bhatt will flaunt best actress award. When Chichore comes, they are out in the open and now they are saying they are getting flagged because of me. People can't see this. He went to London School of Economics. He said, I should get out of the film industry. Who is he to ask me to get out of the film industry. And what I'm saying is that why this Mumbai police very conveniently will not ask Mahesh Bhatt, what was Mahesh Bhatt doing between Riya and Sushant? I want to know. They will not ask him. You know why? Because he's Javed Akhtar's friend. I call this gang suicide gang. Javed Akhtar called me to his house. He said, if you do not say sorry to Hrithik Roshan, you will commit suicide. He went, Mahesh.
What did he say? 1 minute. What did he say? Come again. What did he say?
He said, if you do not say sorry to Hrithik Roshan, you will have to commit suicide because they will put you in jail. They have found all the clues, all the evidences. They know the case is completely in their hands. But I didn't know what evidence. क्या मैंने कुछ चोरी किया है, उनका कुछ लिया है? I said, what evidence you talking about? What have I done? What have I done? So he said, you will have to commit suicide क्योंकि तेरा मुंह काला हो जाएगा पूरा, तो तू जाएगी कहाँ? Now Mahesh Bhatt, his best friend, is going to Sushant.
Now what if Javed Akhtar denies this?
Sorry?
What if Javed Akhtar denies having said anything like this?
Well, we had witnesses. We had a common doctor who took me to his place, a common friend. I would see if they would want to help me through this, but I will not put any pressure. I think I can just simply say what I can say. If I have to tomorrow prove in court, I have witnesses there, but I've obviously not thought about it. So Mahesh Bhatt, now Javed Akhtar has enough political connections to get away with pretty much anything in Mumbai. And Mahesh Bhatt is his best friend. The suicide gang was there, already there. So these people who are vultures, bloodthirsty vultures, they're seeking doomed people. I'm not saying Aditya Chopra wanted him to die or Karan Johar wanted. No, they definitely wanted him to be doomed. And then doomed people, these people who are just emotional vultures, they just want to see people lynched. What they did to Praveen Babi, till this date, he's making a film on her illness time and time again. How much more he wants to sell her illness in so many versions he's making. The same thing he's doing with Sushant Singh Rajput. So why Mumbai police is not summoning Aditya Chopra, Karan Johar, Rajiv Masan, Mahesh Bhatt, these four people? Why? Because they're powerful. Why they are not asking them questions? Because what
would they? Better information would they give? You're saying all this information which you're sharing. Why don't you share it with the Mumbai police as well?
I want to share it publicly, so that there is no this thing of facts, because I have seen these people how they completely, when in 2016 I started to talk about nepotism and the mafia that functions in film industry. Look, they're coming out of the complete those gangster phase, 90s, when we were in school. We used to hear about gangsters funding films. Why actors are called bhai bhai? Why they get so offended? I mean, it's my democratic right to say no to you. I can decide not to do your film. Why do I have to be ruined? And why do I have to be completely isolated and, and I just, what I want to convey, sir, through this interview, what I want to put forth is, look, for me, I have only to lose here. I have only and only to lose here, because I know tomorrow they will get some 20 needy outsiders like Tapsi Pannu or Swara Bhaskar, who will get up and say, oh, only Kangna has problem with nepotism. We to love Karan Johar. If you love Karan Johar, why are you both B-grade actresses? You are both better looking than Alia Bhatt and Ananya. You both are better actresses. Why don't you get work? Your whole existence is a proof of nepotism. Your whole existence is a proof of nepotism. What are you telling me, that how happy you are with the industry? So I know this will happen. The whole system will work to make me look like a mad person.
You're saying Mahesh Bhatt was making an attempt to break Sushant?
I want
to break you, to stereotype you and stereotype Sushant? Wait, because I found that phrase that you used very strong. You called them the suicide gang. Why did you say that? Isn't that an extreme word? After all, he says I launched her. He says I launched her, and his daughter, Pooja Bhatt, has been reminding you, saying, aren't you grateful that we launched you?
Well, I am grateful, but that doesn't then give a right to call me mad and psychotic and throw chappals at me. He threw a chappal at me.
Who threw a chappal at you?
Mahesh Bhatt.
When?
When I was working with him, he offered me a film, Gangster I was doing, Bola Mein I was doing. He called me to his editing studio in Juhu. Pooja was producing that film called Dhokha. So he offered me that film, and it was a suicide bomber, you know, a Muslim girl tortured to death, and she turned a suicide bomber, the heroism of a suicide bomber. Even at 18, I had this much common sense. I said, well, there is, if you are tortured, there is a lot you can do. You can join army, you can join, you know, police, you can do something. Why do you have to be a suicide bomber? I said no to that film. He yelled at me. He was about to literally come on to me like he's going to beat me or something. His daughter held him back. She held him back. She was like, Papa, don't. I escaped somehow, and then my friend...
You're saying that he wanted to assault you, was about to assault you, got so angry because you questioned him. You questioned the theme of his film.
Of course, he was so angry. And then I had a trial of my film called Bola Mein. So my friend directed it, Mohit Suri, who's their nephew. So I went for the trial. He stood at the gate. There used to be, I think Satyam or some theater used to be there for, we had those, print, different kind of print. So he came to that main gate of that, and he chased me out. He yelled at me, and I was still trying to sneak in because I wanted to see my film. He threw a chappal. 2 people took him inside just because he's launched me. Let me tell you, the daughter is claiming that you are who you are because of us. I had auditioned for 2 films. One, Puri Jagannath, who was a big blockbuster director, called Pokari, and Gangster both. And Anurag Basu yet wasn't an A-lister also. He was only making not A-list films. And I chose this film because it was a woman-centric film. And Pokari went on to become all-time blockbuster. And so for her to say that, she did a big favor on me or her father had absolutely no participation in my launch. Anurag Basu, who was their director, who directed the film, he is the one who saw my audition. And when he saw my footage from Gangster, he just went crazy. He's like, oh, you're so good, you're so good. He wanted me in every film. But why can't I say no if I want to? Why these people are still in the hangover of the mafia, that bhai ko mana nahi kar sakte, otherwise you'll be shot dead. Why is that? So that needs to end in this film industry. And I don't see, look, I do feel that, of course, we can't hang them, but we can take small steps into the right direction. For example, if we question Rajiv Masand, who has written that he's a rapist, he's a drug addict, he beats up directors, who are his sources? Maybe his publicist, because that Rohini...
Has he actually named him? Has he actually named him?
But there were items which are describing him, and beneath his name is there. In guests, they do a survey of guests. There his name is very much loud.
So you're saying that this person who is a TV critic does suggestive writing. He may not have named him, but he's indicating or insinuating.
No, he named him also, but very cleverly. Beneath, they say, okay, now you make the guess. And they will make the guess, and then they will put his name. Sushant Singh Rajput's name is there. The maximum people who guessed. So his name is there. You cannot not escape it. His father said that his father went on record to say he was too much disturbed by the ongoing conflicts in film industry. That's what his father said. So who was he having conflicts with?
Who should fight this now, Kangana? Should it be the family? Should it be the family? Should it be people like you? Who should fight? Because there are a lot of people. I did a show, Kangana, after this incident happened. I was very moved when I heard the news, and I was also a fan. After I did the show, there was an overwhelming feedback that I got from a lot of viewers of Republic. Please take it forward. Please take it forward. And of course, there have been many news events over the last few days, China, other things, and maybe the focus of the media moves away from Sushant alone. But now, yesterday I saw that Shekhar Suman, for example, he's been a politician in the past. He went to BR, he fought. He said, I've written to Subramaniam Swamy, there should be a CBI inquiry. But he said the family is not, He said the family is not speaking up enough. So I just want to ask you, who should speak up in this? How does it go forward?
Look, I mean, this is the. I think family should not be harassed because these people are too powerful. These people are too. If these people are not even summoned, he has, clearly been saying that I'm being, isolated, and they will kick me out of Bollywood. You got to who, and they're not even summoned, so they are too powerful for the family. My sister is an acid attack victim, and I know what the family goes through when they go to get the justice from a culprit. So what I feel is that because the hope is that whether it's Mr. Amit Shah or the kind of government very responsive and very much involved with everything, the kind of government we have, it can't be corrupted. So I feel that we should, like I said, we can't definitely hang them. But Karan Johar given Padma Shri. Why is he given Padma Shri? He has gone to London School of Economics and he's abusing a girl for talking about nepotism. Why should, and he makes these petty kitty party shows because his father, would his father do this? His father and Aditya Chopra's father are responsible for two superstars' career, Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan. Their religions are different. Their backgrounds are different. So these the kind of legends they come from. But these boys, they inherited their empire at the age of 25. Karan Johar at the age of 25 was making his first film with Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol. What do you expect him to? He is only into kitty parties. He has nowhere to go. Even if he sustains, it's more than enough. But would Yash Chopra do that? Would Yash Chopra put Shah Rukh Khan under contract and say that I will make you now? Nobody else can rise to your level because I'm getting 50% of whatever you earn. So everybody has to sign in the industry. Everybody has to sign Shah Rukh Khan. Did that happen? No, it did not happen because they were not into kitty parties.
What do you think of the Mumbai police investigation? Is after what you're saying that the big directors, the big filmmakers have not been questioned by the Mumbai police so far. So then the Mumbai police investigation, Kangana, is a sham. It's a complete sham.
It's a complete sham. And for whatever people say about Bhansali, I've also said no to one of his films called Padmavati. He never kind of did anything vengeful against me or gave some nasty quotes or some gossip. People may call him arrogant or whatever, but let me tell you one thing. He doesn't gang up on anyone, but he's been summoned. Shekhar Kapoor has been a man who's like almost like a devata. He's been summoned. They want to summon me. Please summon me. I am ready to say all this, but even they are answerable. What about Aditya Chopra, Karan Johar, Rajiv Masan? If I'm not saying hang Rajiv Masan, please know that. But as a society, shouldn't be setting a precedent. We should ask these journalists that this can't be your way of pleasing people and being vindictive to others and kind of sabotaging careers and pushing people to commit suicide. If he's questioned 10 times and if he's asked for some penalty or something, at least other journalists we will have a way of conduct in even journalism.
Are you saying the Mumbai police is protecting Karan Johar, protecting Aditya Chopra, they're protecting this lobby? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
But who's doing it? I mean, obviously the Mumbai police is answerable to a government.
Answerable to it, and Mahesh Bhatt.
To the state government.
Look, Mahesh Bhatt was going to his house and counseling him. What business he has to counsel? Did you call his father and tell him that your son is not feeling well? His first AD has said that whenever he felt bad, Ria called Mahesh Bhatt. Why didn't you call him? Who is he? Who is he? 4 years ago, Mahesh Bhatt openly declared that this girl is looking into a tragic end.
You're talking about yourself. They're talking about you.
Yes, about me. He said this girl's end is near. She is looking at a tragic end. Mahesh Bhatt, I got Padma Shri this year. I directed a 150 crore film. I am also speaking to on Republic TV to give my feedback on telling me my tragic end is near. What makes you think that? Same thing he's saying about Sushant Singh Rajput. What makes him? What gives these people license to declare to the world that these are? Of course, he was towards the end. He was mentally completely broken. Of course, he was. Who wouldn't be? You call him a rapist. You call him a drug addict. You call him a failure. He should be killed. He's not sexy. He's not good. I mean, come on. Like I said, he was an IIT and he was a rank holder. He was exceptional. And
No, but this
we
other
have
argument to it is, Kangana, that they have done that and worse to you, haven't they? But you didn't break. You went on to produce a film. You are still here. You were introduced in the Republic Summit last year as the Queen of Bollywood. You got a standing ovation. You've been through it and worse. So the defense some people have is, well, it's a tough world. Deal with it.
Well, yeah, it is a tough world, but like I said, do we have to send precedent of a performance like when Gully Boy's Alia Bhatt 10-minute role, which is not even the lead role, is a supporting category. She gets the lead role. Can you unsee this? What kind of a human being are we if we unsee this? Can we unsee this? What kind of people in society that makes us? Do we even deserve a good society? If he's killed, butchered in front of me like that, and mentally broken like that, whereas I have had a point in my life, I wanted to shave my head and never come back, just disappear. What kind of a person that makes me? But this person comes from a scientific background. He was matter of fact. His father said on record that he told him that I will get my success on my merit. He is not into spirituality. Why should one not have right to live the way they want?
You are in a battle, Kangana, and I get this sense about you that you've been, every time I've spoken to you now, you've been in a bigger and bigger battle, but you're in the battle. Your team puts out social media, strong posts. You have questioned how people have boycotted actors. You've questioned the system of talent agencies. You've said the industry is in a ruthless place. You've said they only promote their own, they kill other upcoming talents. They destroy other people systematically. You're fighting this, Kangana, but can you win? Tell me, are things changing, at least in terms of perception, right? You have said that there have been attempts to call you mad, to humiliate you. You've said that people have announced your tragic end. Are you ready to testify before the agencies? Two things I want to ask you. One is, okay, so let me ask you first, are you ready to testify before whether Mumbai police or the CBI, whoever takes this up? I'm surprised that you're not being questioned because you would be the first point of so much information.
They summoned me and I asked them to, because I'm in Manali, I said, you can send somebody to take my statement. But I have not received anything after that. I am telling you, if I have said anything which I can't testify, which I can't prove, and which is not in public domain, I will return my Padma Shri. I don't deserve it. I am not that person who will go on record. Like I told you before also, I'm giving you an open kind of announcement that if anything that I have said, it cannot be proved and it is not in public, everything that I said is in public domain, is exactly 100% in public domain. If it is not, then I will return my Padma Shri.
But are you ready to testify? Right now they gave you a summons, you couldn't come because you're in Manali. Post-COVID, in other words, are you ready to testify? Are you ready to turn all that you've said into a written statement and send it to the Mumbai police?
Of course I am. I feel, you know what, why I feel so responsible for this whole thing? Because when I spoke about nepotism, only one person supported me, Sushant. You know that? Only he supported me. He said, yes, they killed the right talent. And after that, the way they went for him, no outsider supported me, please see. No, they went licking their feet and they got awards and films and everything. A whole system, including insider, outsider, turned against me. One person supported me, called Sushant Singh Rajput, the way they went for them. And when he insulted me in London, nobody said anything. You think it did not affect his state of mind? If Kangna, being so outspoken, he always said one thing, I cannot express myself. The biggest fault with me is I cannot, what would it do to his state of mind? That if Kangna Ranawat is being humiliated, butchered like that, my film won't get screens. I am dropped from all the awards and I'm dropped from all the brands. Don't you think it will make him believe that there is no chance for us? He believed that.
I understand. I understand there's a big symbolism to your fight, Kangana. I'm not doubting it. And you know what the symbolism is? The symbolism is whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, I'll tell you something today, right? There is Karan Johar on the one side, it is a symbol of what you call the dynastic system of Bollywood, and there is Kangana on the other, who's feisty, unpredictable, and the problem is they haven't been able to beat you back. You see, the whole system, they haven't been able to beat you back. You come back. You come back usually with your performances, but increasingly with your media presence, your social media presence. So I see a fighter in you, but every fighter, before they go into the ring, ask themselves, am I in this for just the fight or am I in this to win? Do you think you can win this? Though I think the Sushant Singh Rajput's unfortunate demise is a tipping point. You know, I feel it's like a inflection point, Kangana, where fans have got involved and fans and people are beginning to ask questions. It's not the media of Bollywood which is asking questions. It's the fans who are asking questions. You know what I mean? But can you win this?
Sir, these are the fans who have always and always hailed foreign actresses. They don't like their color. They don't like their language. Whether it is Alia, it is Katrina, it is Jacqueline, or it is, this has been Khan dominated for decades and decades on end. Fans are not my hope. Let me tell you that. I am not doing it for fans. If I wanted, I could have done biggest brand in the country. No, that is not. I know what this country has Stockholm syndrome. They like foreign people. They love it. I can't change that, and I have no intention of changing that. But what I can do is I can go to sleep with peaceful mind that I said I did my bit. I did my bit. What happened to Sushant, exactly that trap was laid for me. There were people who called me and said, you should commit suicide. And I was thinking that...
Who called you? Who is that? The people from industry?
People from industry, journalists were calling me. And it was literally like, ab nahi maregi to kab maregi? Like, you are completely bankrupt. You have been proved an nymphomaniac, a stalker, a man-eater, chudail. Ab nahi maregi to kab maregi? Like that. They would, of course, they would be very sarcastic. Don't do something to you and all that. So, of course, I feel responsible for who I am. But I definitely have no hope. But I definitely want us as a society, in the times that we lived, to set a certain standard, whether it is performances. I have nothing to do with Chichore. Yeah. I fought for Chichore even before Sushant thing happened. Yeah. My sisters wrote on Twitter that Chichore was the best director, Uri was the best film. Well, I have no hope with that, but I want to set standards of whether it's performances, films, conduct, and definitely the way system works. Karan Johar should not be given Padma Shri. Aditya Chopra should be refrained from running that agency, which is on what basis he did not let him do, and he did not compensate for that. He did not let him do Sanjay Bhansali films. How come you don't compensate for that? No monetary compensation, no films. So definitely that agency should be shut, and Rajiv Masand should be pulled up and should be asked some...
You are in a battle, Kangana, and I get this sense about you that you've been, every time I've spoken to you now, you've been in a bigger and bigger battle, but you are in the battle. Your team puts out social media, strong posts. You have questioned how people have boycotted actors. You've questioned the system of talent agencies. You've said the industry is in a ruthless place. You've said they only promote their own. They kill other upcoming talents. They destroy other people systematically. You're fighting this, Kangana, but can you win? Tell me, are things changing, at least in terms of perception, right? You have said that there have been attempts to call you mad, to humiliate you. You've said that people have announced your tragic end. Are you ready to testify before the agencies? Two things I want to ask you. One is, okay, so let me ask you first, are you ready to testify before whether Mumbai police or the CBI, whoever takes this up? I'm surprised that you're not being questioned, because you would be the first point of so much information.
They summoned me. And I asked them to, because I'm in Manali, I said, you can send somebody to take my statement. But I have not received anything after that. I am telling you, if I have said anything which I can't testify, which I can't prove, and which is not in public domain, I will return my Padma Shri. I don't deserve it. I'm not that person who will go on record. Like I told you before also, I'm giving you an open kind of announcement that if anything that I have said, it cannot be proved and it is not in public, everything that I said is in public domain, is exactly 100% in public domain. If it is not, then I will return my Padma Shri.
But are you ready to testify? Right now, they gave you a summons, you couldn't come because you're in Manali. Post-COVID, in other words, are you ready to testify? Are you ready to turn all that you've said into a written statement and send it to the Mumbai police?
Of course I am. I feel, you know what? Why I feel so responsible for this whole thing? Because when I spoke about nepotism, only one person supported me, Sushant. You know that? Only he supported me. He said, yes, they killed the right talent. And after that, the way they went for him, no outsider supported me. Please see. No, they went licking their feet and they got awards and films and everything. A whole system, including insider, outsider, turned against me. One person supported me, called Sushant Singh Rajput, the way they went for them. And when he insulted me in London, nobody said anything. You think it did not affect his state of mind? If Kangna, being so outspoken, he always said one thing: I cannot express myself. The biggest fault with me is I cannot. If he, what would it do to his state of mind? That if Kangna Ranawat is being humiliated, butchered like that, my film won't get screens. I am dropped from all the awards and I'm dropped from all the brands. Don't you think it will make him believe that there is no chance for us? He believed that.
I understand. I understand there's a big symbolism to your fight, Kangana. I'm not doubting it. And you know what the symbolism is? The symbolism is, whether you like it or not, I'll tell you something today, right? There is Karan Johar on the one side, it is a symbol of what you call the dynastic system of Bollywood, and there is Kangana on the other, who's feisty, unpredictable, and the problem is they haven't been able to beat you back. You see, the whole system, they haven't been able to beat you back. You come back usually with your performances, but increasingly with your media presence, your social media presence. So I see a fighter in you, but every fighter, before they go into the ring, ask themselves, am I in this for just the fight or am I in this to win? Do you think you can win this? Though I think the Sushant Singh Rajput's unfortunate demise is a tipping point. You know, I feel it's like a inflection point, Kangana, where fans have got involved and fans and people are beginning to ask questions. It's not the media of Bollywood which is asking questions. It's the fans who are asking questions. You know what I mean? But can you win this?
Sir, these are the fans who have always hailed foreign actresses. They don't like their color. They don't like their language. Whether it is Alia, it is Katrina, it is Jacqueline, or it is, this has been Khan dominated for decades and decades on end. Fans are not my hope. Let me tell you that. I am not doing it for fans. If I wanted, I could have done biggest brand in the country. No, that is not. I know what this country has Stockholm syndrome. They like foreign people. They love it. I can't change that, and I have no intention of changing that. But what I can do is I can go to sleep with peaceful mind that I said I did my bit. I did my bit. What happened to Sushant, exactly that trap was laid for me. There were people who called me and said, you should commit suicide. And I was thinking that...
Who called you? Who is that? The people from industry?
People from industry, journalists were calling me, and it was literally like, ab nahi maregi to kab maregi? Like, you are completely bankrupt. You have been proved a nymphomaniac, a stalker, a man-eater, chudail. Ab nahi maregi to kab maregi? Like that. They would be very sarcastic. Don't do something to you and all that. So, of course, I feel responsible for who I am. But I definitely have no hope. But I definitely want us as a society, in the times that we lived, to set a certain standard, whether it is performances. I have nothing to do with Chichore. Yeah. I fought for Chichore even before Sushant thing happened. My sisters wrote on Twitter that Chichore was the best director, Uri was the best film. well, I have no hope with that, but I want to set standards of whether it's performances, films, conduct, and definitely the way system works. I
Well,
think Karan Johar should not be given Padma Shri. Aditya Chopra should be refrained from starting running that agency, which is on what basis he did not let him do, and he did not compensate for that. He did not let him do Sanjay Bhansali films. How come you don't compensate for that? No monetary compensation, no films. So definitely that agency should be shut, and Rajiv Masand should be pulled up and should be asked some kind of compensation, whether it is penalty or something. Mahesh Bhatt, for abetment of suicide, he should have a proper act on him. Why was he counseling him? Is he a psychiatrist? Is he his friend? Has he worked with him? Who is he in his life? Why was he going to his house and counseling him? If I, so we know if we are feeling down, somebody can come uplift us. If we are feeling down, somebody can put us in the depths of darkness. It's everybody would agree to that. So I want these reforms to happen, and that's all I can do. I'm not here to change anybody's mind and to gang up on anyone, because then I will become that system who's ganging up on them. No, I'm not here for that.
I think you're very straight and very honest, and I think you're very clear in your thinking. I'd only say one thing, Kangana. You have created a level playing field for yourself. And while you may say you may not change the things, you are the finest actress today in the Hindi film industry. And you have produced one of the best films that I have ever seen of global standards called Manikarnika, which I have told you about. And I think you have a lot to be proud of. The greatest thing that you have to be proud of is that you have not allowed anyone to break you. So thank you very much for talking to you. I think this conversation will go a long way. Thank you, Kangana. Thank you.